Action.
Hello, I'm Veronica Simmons, and today I'll be giving you guys a persuasive speech on drug addiction. Before we get started, I would like you guys to take a quick survey on two different questions. First question, how many of you believe that a person that uses drugs for the first and after the first initial time, that their drug use after that is a personal choice? Who thinks that? You can raise your hands. Okay. Second question, how many people believe that drug addiction is an actual disease? Okay. Well, today, this speech will basically inform you on what drug addiction is. In 2007, a national survey was taken, and about 19.9 million admitted to using drugs by the age of 12. Today, I will be sharing information that I obtained from my personal experience with drug addiction within my family, and also I've done research from different websites such as the National Institute of Drug Addiction, the Mayo Clinic, which specializes in disease and treatment, the Foundation for a Drug-Free World, and also a journal that I read from the VCU Board of Advisors on Drug Addiction. Drug addiction has a negative effect on our society, on the personal lives of people in this country, and also on our economy. But it is a preventable disease, and it also is treatable. Drug addiction is a chronic desire to use a drug of choice, and you basically have a compulsive desire to use this drug even though you understand and you know the negative consequences of using your drug of choice. Some statistics that I've researched from the Virginia Commonwealth University journal that I read basically stated that 14% of people admitted to the emergency room have a drug addiction or drug abuse related issue. 20% of the Medicaid expenses used for inpatient care are due to drug addiction, as well as 70% of our inmates that are incarcerated admitted to using drugs regularly before they were incarcerated. Like I said before, drug addiction is a preventable and treatable diseases. As a child in grade school, I remember drug education programs such as the crime dog McGruff, and he came to our school and he taught us about, the negative effects of drugs and what it does to people. And also the DARE program, which stood for the Drug Abuse Resistant Education. Basically, it taught us about, different drugs that people use and what to do if someone offers you drugs. So there, like I stated before, drug addiction is a preventable disease. Also, from the testimony of family members a family member in my family, 13 years clean, she stated that she was able to get off drugs by having a new self-love for herself, seeking God first, and also just taking it one day at a time and attending her AA and NA meetings. The Mayo Clinic also identifies with outpatient and inpatient counseling and therapy to help with drug abusers to get off drugs. God is omnipotent. There's no job too hard for God. And we as Christians need to witness that to people that are on drugs or addicts that we know, and to young adults to help them not make that choice to begin with drugs. Right now I'm going to show you a quick video on a testimony from a person that was on drugs and got off.
A few years ago, he went into a store, bought synthetic drugs, and smoked them. Cox says after one hit, he was instantly addicted.
My body just felt the need to have it. My mind just kept telling me I had to have it. So from the very first hit, I knew I was hooked.
For 3.5 years, he battled an addiction to fake pot.
That's all I was doing. 24/7. I was high 24/7. There was not a moment in the day when I wasn't using that stuff.
Cox says he craved the high.
The effects of it were just so intense that sometimes I thought I was dying.
He'd do whatever he could to get it, including steal from his family.
I was spending up to $100 a day on it.
But after finding himself behind bars, Cox got help. And now the 21-year-old is speaking out about the dangers of synthetic drugs.
It's not good stuff. It ruins
and local politicians to eliminate these street drugs.
They're planning on working hard, and they're planning on working fast to look at the legislations, to look at the laws, and to see what's going on.
Last year, North Carolina banned stores from selling things like K2, spice, and incense, but authorities say manufacturers.
Which leads me to my final point, that drug addiction and drug abuse is preventable and it is treatable. With God's help, we can conquer it and we can achieve anything. And I just would like you guys to think about, when you see a young person or you have a family member that, that use drugs, witness to them that, they can get off drugs. It is possible. Thank you.